Hello and welcome back to the Hood Report, Season 2, Episode 3. Sitting with me today, as usual, we got Leif from Chuuch. Leif, how you doing?
Good morning. Doing well.
Good morning. Also with us, as usual, we got Conor Carroll. Conor, how you doing today?
Awesome. Hyped to be here.
Hell yeah. Stoked to ride. Or no, pumped to ride.
Yes.
That's the old camp saying.
Pumped to ride.
Hyped to be here, pumped to ride. Also joining us today, we got Ari from Hoodgirlzzz. Ari, good morning.
Good morning. What up? I'm so stoked to be back.
We got some microphone sharing going on today, so bear with us a bit here. We also have Erika Vikander. Is that how we say the last name?
You did it. That's maybe a first.
Hell yeah.
Never got it right. Well done.
That.
First try.
Thanks for coming in today, all the way from Hood River. Drove over the mountain bright and early.
But yeah, thanks for having me. Stoked to be here.
Hell yeah. So, start off like usual. We normally go around the table and do a board and check-in, just to check in with everyone, see how the riding's been lately. The mountain is actually open this time, so we actually have some snowboarding to talk about. Connor, you want to start us off? What you been up to lately?
Yeah, I've been riding the rope tow and then a little bit of timberline. It's been pretty sweet.
Hell yeah.
It's good to have the mountain open again. Jibbing, hitting some steel.
Leif, how about you?
Same. I went to the yard, and now Ski Bowl's been open since Friday, so a couple days at Ski Bowl.
Nice. How's the first week at Ski Bowl been? What's the report? Because you guys are both working there right now, right?
Low tide, high vibes.
Okay.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
Off the charts vibes.
What are the features like? Do we got the quad kink going in yet?
We do not. It's basically, it's pretty minimal for now, like snow-wise. Everything's kind of just sitting on the ground. So we got like a bunch of tubes and slappy features and all the classic boxes, like the Batwing boxes out and all that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good little warm-up to
Good
the
for
season.
getting back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
For sure.
I have my Ski Bowl pass this year. I actually bought a Ski Bowl pass for the first time in my life.
Yeah, you
So-
better come and use it.
Yeah, I'm not poaching this year. I'm actually officially there, so
Wow.
we'll have to,
He's
have to
growing
go dust
up.
that off. Yeah, I did submit a photo, but they emailed me back saying, hey, we got your photo, but the photo appears to be a picture of a cat. So I have to go back in there and take my actual photo. I tried sending them a picture of like my cat Rain as
Oh,
like
yeah.
the profile.
They're kind of strict about that.
Yeah, I thought I could slide it by, but they weren't into it.
Cat boy.
Yeah. Ari, how about you? How's the riding been? I know you're coming back from an injury. Have you been riding yet?
I had my first day back on hill in like 8 months on Friday. Timberline, Ski Bowl. It's so good to be back, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Like, working out the kinks for sure. Like, didn't hit any features. Like, kept it low to the ground. But, like, being back on my board again feels so good.
You might have to, sorry to interrupt, but you might have to
Be
share the
quiet.
microphone a bit
Okay.
there with Leif, yeah. So,
Meaning.
real fast, what took you out? What was the injury? Fill the people in.
Back in April, I tore my ACL and meniscus, and then I had surgery at the end of May. Yeah.
Like a full tear, and then
Yeah, I was like in disbelief. Like, I didn't think I like messed it up that bad, but because I was like straight airing spray paint, and I just like landed weird, and like my knee wouldn't move, but I totally thought I was like just gonna be able to ride away. And
yeah. I think we were up there the day that happened. I remember being on the lift and seeing everyone kind of gathered around you and just be like, oh shit, I think that was Ari.
yeah,
Which, respect for hitting spray paint. Like, that jump freaks me out. I'm not much of a park jumper. Like, I'll hit shit into soft snow. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty big, but, or at least bigger than I feel comfortable doing it in the park.
yeah.
So,
I
respect
mean,
on
granted,
that.
like that run, I shouldn't have it slowed down so much, so I like barely made it. Kind of like cased a little bit and it threw me, but I was like so stoked. I was with a group of girls and everyone was kind of like, I want to do it, and I was like, okay, let's go, let's do it. Yeah, so.
And then what was the summer like recovering? Sorry to, like, steal the show for a second, but I've been dying to ask you about this. This is my first time seeing you since the injury.
It was chill. I had some like other personal stuff going on, which like all blended together and honestly like made it pretty difficult like emotionally, but looking back at it, I'm so grateful for that time. Like, I was just surrounded by friends like pretty much every day. Like, yeah, I was pretty supported. I was living alone at the time, but I had like friends come over, and you know, this community of like women up here is so awesome. Like, I never felt alone, even though I like was a lot of the times.
Injuries can be hard. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like you're going from like this super big high to like the lowest low, and
yeah.
you're not getting any of your endorphins,
Yeah.
and like it's
and
just
I
a
was
complete life
progressing
180.
so much at the time. Like, I was like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do? Like, I've never had to like, I've been active my whole life, like always doing something. So for that to be taken away was like pretty tough, but needed. I feel like now I can like, I don't know.
Was it just a gnarly summer full of PT?
Yeah, literally grinding every single day.
Fuck yeah.
And like summer is my favorite season, so it's hard to sit out, but it was good.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Stoked to see you up there. Is it a bit of a confidence shake coming back post injury?
A little bit, because I'm like, I never want to sit out from snowboarding that long ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the pain that comes along with like recovering from an injury and surgery and all that good stuff. But
Sick.
yeah.
I can't speak for you, but from injuries that I have had, I feel like it's always a bit of a confidence shake, but then you end up, it's like a style refiner, because then you're just like way more conscious of like all your movements and what you're doing, and like normally you build some strength up or more than you had beforehand. And yeah, long run, hopefully it's for the better.
Oh yeah.
So hyped you're on that side of things. Erika, how about you? Board and check-in. How's what you been up to lately? Have you been riding much, or
Yeah, I've been
season
trying
finally
to get
turned
out
on?
there. Yeah, once Meadows got opened up, I got a couple of decent like little groomer kind of days, and then I got like the 2 good POW days last week, which was like a really nice mental reset. I was starting to get a little bummed out on the lack of snow this season, and a little stressed because I have a pretty big event coming up that, like, you know, I'd like to be prepared for. And if
Yeah,
you're not snowboarding, it's really hard to prepare for that outside of your like your mental stuff. But yeah, the last couple of days I got up and got to slide some metal, which is usually not what I'm doing at this time of the year. I'm usually trying to do backcountry stuff and free riding, and I saved the metal for springtime. But I always like to get a little jibby with it. It's
Hell
nice
yeah.
to be out there.
And you're riding Meadows.
Yep.
Is this your latest first day on hill?
100%. Yeah. Last year was pretty late as well, because I was on the Grand Canyon for 25 days, and we pulled out like December 6th, and I rolled my ankle really badly on like the final day of the trip, so I had like
Oh,
this
shit.
fatty ankle for 3 weeks. So I didn't get on snow until like the very end of December. Rode for 1 day. It hurt a lot, and then I went to Japan like 2 days after that. But the deal is if you ride perfect POW, your body doesn't hurt. It's a
True.
really weird
True.
thing.
That's why you see me out there. That's why I am jumping into powder instead of doing the park jumps.
Yeah.
It's, you know, as
Definitely the
you
move.
put some miles on and stuff, it becomes a little bit of a softer landing. It's nice.
Yeah.
What event are you getting ready for?
I'm getting ready to drop into Kings and Queens of Corbett's at Jackson again.
Sick.
Got to compete in that last year and got a podium, which I was stoked about, but I'd like to step it up this year. And
How
just not
terrifying is
explode.
looking over the edge of that thing?
Oh,
it looks so gnarly in the videos and photos. I've never seen it in person.
It's not chill. Like,
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
such a flat landing, and it's so intense, but I kind of thrive in those environments. Like, you know, I was on the freeride tour for a long time, and we rode like pretty much subpar conditions 90% of the time, so I'm used to just like sending it to shit, if I'm allowed to say that on the podcast.
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want. No, it's insane the times I have tuned in and seen free ride world tour footage. I'm like, how are they riding that? Like, I've seen like BMO like backflipping onto rocks
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm like, dude, how? Like, I'm sure we're gonna get into all that, but it's like, that is insane that you guys had to ride in some of those conditions.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because it really just like doesn't allow you to showcase what you can actually do on your snowboard. I just called it survival snowboarding for like the
There you
6
go.
years I was on there. I maybe rode like 3 runs that were actually like, oh, this is sick, like we can send, versus like just don't die.
Yeah,
But-
that's respect for surviving that. That's insane.
Thanks.
Maybe let's just dive right into our guest of honor here. Where are you from originally, and how did you start snowboarding?
So I was born in Southern California, but I don't really like count that. We moved to Montana when I was about 2 years old. Grew up in Bozeman.
Okay.
My family's not really like big skiers or snowboarders, which is really funny. I don't know why I took such a, an affinity to it, but we'd go up like on the weekends and stuff, and you know, just like little kind of weekend shred with my brother and sister. My mom would get up there a little bit, but then my brother switched to snowboarding, and I was like, that looks way cooler. I'm gonna go do that now.
Do you have 2 older brothers? Is that right?
I have 1 older brother and 1 older sister.
Okay. So you're the
I'm the
baby of the
baby.
family. There
Yeah.
you go. Do you think that's where some of the competitive nature comes from? Is younger sibling syndrome?
Definitely. And we, you know, both my parents were like really good athletes and stuff, so we were all just, you know, aside from the like childhood trauma part of like my dad, he like pushed us all into being really good athletes.
So what was it? You said that you started snowboarding when you're like, how old would you say? When was your
I was
first
like
time
12 or 13 when I first got on a snowboard.
Okay.
And it was kind of just, again, like chasing my brother around. I wasn't really like serious. And then like my parents split up, and like right around that time I started kind of like getting into like doing competitions and stuff, like these silly little ones around Bridger
like
Bowl
USASA kind of thing?
No,
or?
not even that structured yet. Like when I was getting into it in Montana, like they didn't even have any of that stuff. It was just like random like bank slaloms, and I was competing against people that were like 30, and I just had no idea.
Just
but
whatever
like,
contest was available.
yeah, and I would just go in there and like usually do pretty well, and people are like, "Who is this child? Like, what are you doing?" And it was kind of a fun way to transition into the boarding.
Yeah. You're probably bumming out some Asian people there, like, what the fuck? You got youth on your side, and we're out here just trying to have our freaking old man sesh,
Yeah.
old woman sesh. That's funny. Fast forwarding pretty far, I was in my research for this episode, because we've never met before. I straight up was just like, we need to have more females on the podcast, like straight up off of the last episode. We had Andy on, and we kind of like we're talking about this as a point, and I'm like, you know what, let's just next episode, this is what we're doing. And I was just looking up girls that are boarders on Mount Hood, and your name popped up pretty fast. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's get Erika on here. So thank you for coming down just kind of blind. So I was just like doing research on you, and one of the things I saw is that you were in the qualifications for the 2014 Sochi Olympics. That's insane. So how did you go from just a young buck out there in Montana to trying to get onto this 2014 Olympics?
I mean, I kind of just like put my whole life and soul and energy into snowboarding. Like I fell in love with it, and when the family kind of split apart, it was like my outlet into the world and all my angst and like sadness and depression and like trying to deal with like moving and family dynamics, and I just really like put it all into snowboarding. And I'm just a competitive person by nature. I've always liked to compete, and I like to win, and I'm not like ashamed to say that. I think if you compete, you're there to win mostly, I think. So it's a nice way for me to just kind of put all of that energy into something positive instead of like going down some gnarly roads. That's pretty easy for people to fall into, I think.
You're in a skate shop talking to a bunch of skaters, so we all know how that is. Yeah, no, it's a good therapy stick.
Yeah, and it was what I needed at the time, and it was a bummer to not get to go to the Olympics. Like to your point, like I blew my knee right before I was supposed to go.
And things were looking good. You're like...
Yeah, I was like, it was pretty much a shoo-in. I just needed to like not blow my knee out.
What were you going to compete in?
For slopestyle.
Okay.
It was the first year the first like Olympics that they would have slopestyle in. So I'm also like kind of glad that I didn't go at that time, because that course that they built in Russia was like the gnarliest jumps I've ever seen, and so many people
I remember
got
seeing
broke
it's like
off.
they tried to make it as big as they possibly
They were like
could.
100-foot jumps, and it was like,
insane.
we do not need 100-foot jumps.
Yeah,
but
respect. I would not hit anything like that. So yeah, respect for going and doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't get a chance to do that, but like I blew
the
my knee
build-up
in
to
Breck. That was like, that jump was probably 60 feet or something like that. So it wasn't like huge, but it wasn't small. But, good old Breckenwind, just get that uphill wind every once in a while, and you just deck.
So it was like a two
so
deep
hard.
or like a knuckle scenario?
It was a knuckle scenario.
Okay.
Like I cab 5 the first jump, and like I could feel the wind like push me. I landed like a little higher, and I tucked and straight lined into the second jump, and I came up like a full board length short.
Ooh. And
just like decked so hard. There's a video of my femur going in, like my knee going in, and my femur touching my like ankle. It's just like, plop! And then I flew over the knuckle. And then, of course, like what you were saying is like I tried to stand up and walk out of there, and I was like, I'm fine, and just like collapsed. And I was like, all right, well, there goes everything I've been working for
You have the video
8
though?
years. It's somewhere on an old hard drive. It's pretty rough.
I try not to watch that.
Yeah. It was also like on national TV, like ESPN or whoever was filming it. So it's like the whole, like everyone who was watching just watched me explode. And
Heavy.
it was not the coolest. And then, you had to do the whole rehab thing. I was living by myself in Breckenridge on like a 4-story apartment. So I had like all these
all the
stairs to do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had like crampons on my crutches. So
Just
you didn't
crawling
slip
up and
out.
down. Yeah, and it's like wintertime too. That's
It
insane.
was so rough. But
There's
that's kind
mental
of what,
toughness training in disguise right there.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it was like kind of a blessing in disguise. I mean, aside from Jamie and like Anna, like everyone else who was about my age in that Olympic group, like no longer can ride at that level because like the rate of injury is just so high. And like there's so many good girls coming up that are so young and like have all these different resources and airbags and, you know, the other thing, trampoline training and all that stuff to be able to kind of avoid the injuries that like you kind of had to just go and just fall really hard to get into it. But respect to what everyone's doing now. It's gnarly out there.
There's something to be said for having like, you know, when you're in your young rubber phase of just not thinking about it and like kind of you can take more injuries and stuff and then you supplement that with airbags and other things versus the folks who had to like pave the way and were just learning it on spot on like subpar jumps and respect to that whole era. Who did you look up to growing up as like a young rider?
I think like Hannah Beeman is probably like one of my biggest inspos. I always loved her. And Kirsti Buas, Norwegian rider, she just had like the sickest style. She still does. Like her front three still, I think, is like hands down one of the sickest front threes in the industry, like still to this day.
It's a good trick.
It's such a good trick.
Yeah.
And it just puts you in a really cool position. And those two women who have now become like, you know, I'd like to call them friends. If we see each other, it's like, you know, we have like a cool interaction.
Is that a trip? To
kind of like
a trip. Take your heroes and like, you know, what do they say? Don't meet your heroes, or like, you know, you turn them into a person all of a sudden. It's like that's got to be a good stamp to the inner child of like, you know what, I've arrived.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like there's very few people in the industry that I've met that like, you know, have a huge name that aren't super cool. I can definitely think of a couple I won't name here, but most people are pretty chill.
People like the drama, you know? It's,
I'm good.
We're here for the controversial sound bits.
We'd actually like you to name all of them.
I have a question real quick, just because it also relates to me, but what was it like getting back on snow after tearing your ACL? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was definitely nervous, but if I could have done one thing different in hindsight, I like rushed my rehab really hard. I got right back on snow at 6 months. So like I blew my knee in January, had surgery then. I was back on snow like beginning of July because I was up coaching at Wendell's. And, you know, riding summer snow with a bunch of little kids with like, you know, the park landings and stuff, I definitely like aggravated it. Like my knee, I still have to go home and ice my knee every single day after shredding. I would definitely just harp on staying on the rehab and babying that little thing as much as you can. So like smart moves, don't like you go in the park, you're like, I could probably like hit that thing, and then just ease back into it. Cause it was, I wish I had taken my time a little bit more because now I have like an ongoing lingering thing. Like my knee is like the size of a grapefruit all day, every day.
Oh, damn. Do you, what do you do? One of the questions I had for you is like, do you do any like off-hill training or like prep for the wintertime or like even during the season? Are you a gym rat, or is there stuff you're doing to kind of mitigate those lingering injuries? And
unfortunately, yes, it's not like an option anymore. I also have like some pretty gnarly lower back
I saw you had
pain.
the yoga mat when we were bringing stuff in. I was like, all right, you know what's up.
Yeah, stretching is key. Like core strength is key. I mean, with the new lower back issues too, it's all about pain management now. Like I'm never going to be pain free is kind of what it's come down to. So it is a lot of gym. Honestly, I hate the gym. I hate gym culture. I hate going to the gym.
You're not, like, bro?
It's not my vibe.
I was going to get I'm on your supplements, you know? What do they call it? What's your gear?
Yeah. I mean, I do take supplements, but not like in that sense. It's more like holistic, like hippie kind of stuff.
Yeah. But, what are we talking? What kind of supplements?
I mean, just your nice, like normal, you know, your B12, your vitamin D, I like black seed oil, like curcumin products, you know, kind of all about my like turmeric milk and all that stuff, you know, just try to keep the anti-inflammatory stuff on par. But yeah, unfortunately, I do have like, I have to wake up in the morning, like do a bunch of like movements for my back. Like it's probably like an hour-long process before I can like go sit in the car. Luckily I have heated seats to keep it warm until I get to the hill. And then if you ever see me out there, I'm like always doing like hip circles and like weird body. It's not because I'm like just like look at me. I'm like I literally have to do this in order to survive today.
I mean, I have had maybe a little bit less impactful of I wasn't hitting the same size jumps and doing the same size things, but I definitely am a different person if I wake up and like do about an hour of movements versus if I don't. It's kind of a night and day difference. Otherwise, like I'll say, I'm like I naturally suck at like snowboarding and skateboarding, and like if I don't do something like that to help pad the numbers in my direction. It just, the sucking goes so far.
Totally.
But,
yeah, it's a comes with age kind of thing,
Yeah.
You
You can still be a 19-year-old. You just have to frickin' work really hard for it.
super hard at it. Yeah, a lot of chiropractor visits and like get on the PEMF machine, these like pulse electromagnetic field, like anti-inflam things. So I've got a pretty good doctor that I go and see quite often in Hood River.
I was gonna say Hood River is probably a good zone for that kind of
Yeah.
thing. But
Go see Dr. Call at Cell Regen.
Shout out, sweet. might have to pay a visit over that side of the hill. When was your first time coming to Hood?
First time coming to Hood, I was, about 19 or 20, so it was like 15 years ago. It was a long time. I mean, especially as a park rock kid, it was like everyone just go at the national migration up to Hood in the summertime.
Was it for like camp in the summer? Or
it was for
just to come
coaching.
out? Okay.
Well, I used to ride for Gatorade when I was living in Breck and kind of like, in the slopestyle circuit. So we would do some team trips up here, and then they like stopped sponsoring.
They
like,
had a
actual
tour, didn't
athletes.
they? It was like the Gatorade Free Flow tour. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had that. There wasn't a contest up here or anything, but that's how like I got on the team, was from winning some of those stops. And then they got out of extreme sports and then just only started sponsoring drone pilots because they need a lot of hydration apparently.
Huh.
No shade on drone pilots. You guys are sick, but like I don't know, it's a little different.
Like these guys get domed a lot less. Like they show up to their contests or whatever events no matter what. It's like injury doesn't take them out.
Totally.
So, yeah, maybe it's a smarter investment from their perspective.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, how do I get up here now that I don't have that free trip anymore? And so then I started coaching at Wendell's. Like when Nick Visconti was the head coach, it was like kind of my first time coming up here.
Maybe that's where we've seen each other before. I did the skate program there for quite some time.
That's it. We found it.
Yep. But sick. And then was it like every year pilgrimage coming back?
Every year pilgrimage coming back, and then one winter I just like didn't leave, and so I've been in Oregon now for about 10 years, which is wild. That's like almost longer than I've lived any other place in my entire life, including Montana where I grew up.
I think
that like 2 more years here, and then I'll be.
That qualifies you as a local at this point.
I think so. I mean,
checking the boxes.
I still don't call myself a Hood River local because I lived in Welch's for like 5 years, and now I've been in Hood River for 5 years. So I think I'm rounding the corner on Loc Dog style.
Which side of the mountain do you like more?
I like Hood River more.
Okay.
I mean, I love it over here. It's just, you guys know with the traffic on 26 and like all the people kind of inundating all my sanctuary forest spots. It's a
little more sunshine on that side of the mountain too.
Sunshine, got a few different restaurants to choose from.
Good food options. You actually have street spots too. I know if you do want to get on that steel a little bit more, there's options out there.
Totally.
I know Connor's had a good time.
Yeah, Hood River's cool.
Yeah.
Rad. Yeah.
Speaking of, there's a sick street spot I found in Sandy.
Oh really?
I'm gonna have to show Connor a picture.
Okay. Off record.
Cut that one out of the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be our edit for this one.
After, correct me if I'm wrong, but I also did my research. But after you were living in Montana, you moved to Park City. Mm-hmm. What did you move there to compete or?
Kind of. It was just like when my parents split up, my dad just like had a friend in Park City, and so he was like, "We're moving to Park City." I was not psyched about it, to be perfectly honest, because I just was like 13 years old and just going through all the stuff and didn't want to leave my friends or whatever. But it was
a rough time to switch social groups.
Yeah, and like moving from Bozeman, Montana to Park City, Utah with like, we are not like a very wealthy family by any means. Like my dad and I like lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm like taking the bus to school, and kids were like not that nice about it because they all are quite wealthy over there, and they're like, "Who's this girl?" And so it was a rough transition. But the good news is once I moved there, I did like get on the Park City snowboarding team, and it opened up a lot of doors for me, because I was just like, well, if these kids are gonna be mean, I'm just gonna go snowboarding more.
And then extra log on the fire.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't like, it was mostly like the girls, because they're like, who is this person? And then from snowboarding, it's like, it's mostly dudes, and then all the like older dudes were like wanted to be my friend and hang out, and then suddenly all the girls came round full circle.
That's like the heyday of like Park City. That's pre-Woodward. That's like when Park City was like the scene for Utah too.
Yeah,
that's
they used to build a big park over on Kings, and like that was total heyday. Kind of like how, you know, Breck was when I lived in Breckenridge. Like, that was like the time to be there. Now I feel like no one rides Breck anymore. Like, they don't even build the freeway jumps, do they?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't. It's been a while.
I haven't been to Breck actually.
I've only been out there once, and it was for ski nationals for the Wendell's program. And I was just a life coach, so I was just like cooking dinner and friggin' sneaking beers while the kids were out the hill and stuff.
That's sweet.
That's
Off record.
Yeah,
right on par.
You think you progressed a lot more moving to Park City than you would have if you had stayed in Bozeman?
Definitely. I mean,
Park scene's pretty small in Montana.
Yeah, it's still really small. Imagine
Right.
like 20 years ago, it was like
Yeah.
literally nothing. I had never
it's
even
on
hit
the
a
up
jump.
though. They got a rope tow now at Big Sky.
Yeah, I know. There was a lot
that's
of
a good sign.
push for that. But yeah, I had never even like seen a proper park jump until I moved to Park City and
Okay.
like just jumped in there full gung ho, like immediately broke both my
You were
wrists.
already interested in
yeah.
park riding though.
No, I
Or
just
you-
was like
okay.
interested in snowboarding, and I was
Okay,
like, all right,
yeah.
I moved to this place. Like, this is what everyone does. I guess I'm gonna like go do this.
I'm gonna fly off of that too.
Yeah,
That's
and then
wild.
like, you know, classic, like you don't know what you're doing. Did the immediate don't put your wrists down when you're falling kind of thing, and broke both my wrists at the same time, which was
Gnarly.
a little wake up call.
That's gnarly.
But the good news was it got me out of doing my schoolwork.
Oh, that's super chill.
I
Yeah.
really couldn't write. I
Talk
was
to
like,
text or something, or that was pre-talk
no, there
to
was not
text?
even that. It was just like, well, you just, you know, listen. I was like, cool. And I was just, you know, in my own little world, all stoned and stuff. Just
I think our Wally board's gonna take an L there. Sorry, we got my dog Stevie joining with us
Stevie needs
today.
it,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, we have to
Yeah.
protect the Wally board. Thank you,
I
Wally.
want that
Shout
getting
out.
scratched.
Wally.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably know Wally.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So kind of skipping around here. So the Sochi injury is, from what I understand, kind of the thing that spurred you into the free riding world. Is that right?
It was, yeah. I took like a full season off of competing in park after that, so I had like one full year, and then I was like, you know, I don't really feel like the slopestyle riding, park riding was like sustainable at like the level that I needed to do it in order to like get the support I wanted. So I had some friends that were doing these free ride events, and they're like, you should come do one, and I was like, cool, like I like snowboarding in all ways, so I'm gonna go do that.
And that was just like a local contest out there.
It was one that was at Snowbird, so it was like the Subaru Freeride series, so it wasn't like a small, it was like the competing one against like the free skiing world tour, which then became, those two combined to become the free ride world tour. So I went to the Subaru Freeride series event at Snowbird, ended up getting second. I was like on my 145 park board with my baggy sweatshirt, like no technical gear at all. Again, I like rolled in, and these people are like, who is this girl?
Fucking
Like,
ski
what
bowl
are you
style right there.
doing?
Yeah,
On
we
the
support
jib
that.
noodle going full
Totally.
backcountry hog. That's awesome.
And then I was like, cool, well, it seems like I'm all right at this. I should just pursue this. The following year, I got on the Freeride World Tour qualifier, and they only take one girl out of like the whole series, and I somehow won the series and got on the tour the next year. And
Which is insane. I was hearing about how all that works and stuff. It's
it's
a
bullshit. There
tight
should be a
funnel that
lot
you had to get
more
through, yeah.
spaces for girls. I have a lot to say about that.
I watched your video last night, Be Happy, and I wrote down a quote that I feel like encompasses that really well, but I need to find it.
Oh, thanks for watching that.
yeah. We watched. Yeah, we enjoyed that.
I did
also.
my research.
Well done.
Okay. Addie said something in that movie. When there's only one spot for women, it creates this tension in certain spaces and makes it hard to want to invite others into these certain opportunities because there is only one space. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that is pretty obvious, but it's just a good reminder. I feel like it's like, I don't know, if you're like chasing something and you want to win and there's only one spot, like of course you're going to want to like do everything you can to like get into that one spot. And that, like, I feel like closes a lot of other doors for other people. And
Yeah, it
creates
unfortunately creates like a scarcity mindset, like she referenced, and it's unfortunate because like together we're a lot more powerful, and like that's what I always envy about like the dude crews is like you guys, there's so much space for all the men in the industry, whether it's like contests, you know, actual numbers of people, whether it's sponsor money or any of that. So like they can actually like have a crew and they're like psyched. Everyone's like genuinely like rooting for each other. Where girls, it's like a lot harder because like I've experienced it many times where even like my closest friends, like we're friends, but you like sense that they like want you to fail because they want that spot as well. And it's like really a bummer. It's cool what you ladies are doing with like the Hoodgirlzzz, and like now there's more of these girl groups kind of like coming together, but still, like I can tell you from my personal experience, like there's still not enough space at the top. There's still not enough money for women who are like arguably more marketable, that have a lot more crossover into other industries and like can bring different value into the sport and into sponsorship situations and just like creating longevity for ourselves. And it's frustrating because like it's 2026. Like this is not that hard. This is seriously not that hard. And there's so many dudes that like do advocate, but again, that was what my point was kind of driving in that movie, where it's like, I can sit here and raise the alarm, and I like, you know, I got a lot of doors shut in my face for speaking up about stuff, which also sucks, because you put your neck out there on the line, you hope your friends, your girlfriends are going to have your back, and they're like, nope, I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me. You're like, cool, well, if no one steps up and does anything, it's never going to change. And we also need the male allies to have our backs when you step up, and like need to have those conversations that are rough of being like, hey, like she does deserve this, or they do deserve to have more space. And so it's like a community thing, which is what we always harp about snowboarding anyways. It's all community until it's not. Mm-hmm. So just calling everybody out again.
Well, let's for the people that don't know, the video you're referencing is Be Happy?
Yep.
Yeah, which was the documentary that you put out after you left the Freeride World Tour. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know, what caused you to leave the Freeride World Tour? We also want to get into the highlights of the times you were there, because it seems like a pretty kick-ass ride that you got to go on and to see some places. But because we're going to be talking about it a bunch, fill the people in.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate that it ended the way it did. It really like bums me out. It's still something that like haunts me all the time, because I left, but I was more like forced out by like an impossible decision making thing. So like we usually get our you know, like the schedule for the tour in like July the prior year. So you schedule everything that you're doing around these 5 stops in these week-long weather windows. And like, you know, so we have other
Which might not be a long enough weather window, because, you know, we tune in and see you're still on fucking gravel out there. Like, it's insane.
Right. And it costs them a lot of money. Like, I get it's really hard to pull off those competitions. Yeah. The thing that's frustrating for athletes and that I faced, you know, is like, so we have other things. I have photo shoots that I need to like be there for other sponsors, or like I was guiding an all women's trip in Japan. So I had like 15 girls who paid thousands of dollars to go riding with me in Japan. And what happened is after the second contest, the third contest, they moved the date. And so I had 2 things that I had to do. Mm-hmm. And for me, if I commit to something and I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I follow through with that thing. So I'm like, well, I can't make this contest now because you guys decided to change the date. And what I asked for from the tour was for me to be awarded a wild card to be able to finish the tour. So they give out wild cards to a lot of people who have no credentials as far as freeride contests go, or just, you know, people who have big social followings or whatever.
That they think would be like bring more viewers to the
Totally. And more often than not, it's men. They give them to European men skiers.
Is it ran by FIS?
It is now, which is a whole different...
I'll hear too many good things about FIS. But our soul is for sale. If FIS wants to sponsor this podcast monetarily, I will say a lot of good things about FIS. But anyways.
Yeah, so I just really asked to be awarded the same opportunity that I've seen countless men get, where they had other scheduling conflicts and they would get a wild card and it was no problem at all. When I asked, it was like, nope, we don't do that. Like, we can't do that. Like, you know, you're going to have to go back to the qualifiers. And I was like, yo, I have earned my place on this tour for 6 years. Like, I have podiumed.
So you're like a veteran on the tour at that point.
I am a veteran. I have podiumed at almost every single contest that I've entered or that I've, you know, participated in this tour. I'm not like a random person who's a liability. Like, you guys should give me the same
So treatment. Does the stop that you had missed, does that like just affect like your points for the overall
That's the cutoff.
Tour?
So like I had a podium at the first event. The second event, I got 5th or something like that. So I needed basically a podium to have my points to be able to carry on. Because every year you have to re-qualify. Mm-hmm. So there's a cut after like the 3rd stop. So if you're not in the top basically 3 for women's snowboard, because there's so few of us, you get booted. And so like maintaining your spot on that tour is really hard. And that's why, you know, I harp on I qualified every single year, because a lot of people who don't qualify get a wild card back in or this or that. And so I was like
Seemed like an obvious favor that would be given to anyone else, kind of a thing.
Totally. And I was pissed about it. And I was like, dude, seriously? Like, you guys are not going to do this? And they literally, there was another male skier that was in the exact same position that they just gave a wild card. And he was like, can't make the Canada stop, gave him a wild card. And I was like, I'm over
pretty
it,
unfair treatment,
like
sounds
I'm
like.
friggin' over it. And it was just so many things like that had happened, like so many shitty conversations, so many like just blatant disrespect. And I'm not the type of person to sit by and like allow that kind of stuff. And it was like years of build up, and I finally just was like, all right, well, whatever. Like, you guys aren't gonna do me right, then I'm gonna air all your dirty laundry and like put it out there. And
Respect to you for standing on business, you know?
Oh, yeah.
There's something to be said for that.
I mean, yes and no. It definitely didn't do me any favors as far as like.
But it's
industry
better to
stuff,
like
but-
live on, like, die on your feet than live on your knees, you know?
Totally. And I
sure.
mean, I just wish that more people who I had conversations with during that time that said that they would also be in my court would have followed through with their word. And it's unfortunate that, like, because it is such a dog-eat-dog world out there, like, to the point again, like, they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. They're like, well, it sucks, but like, it doesn't suck totally for me right now, so I'm not going to say anything. And it's a bummer.
One of the questions that Morgan actually came up with while we were watching your documentary is that you and I'm paraphrasing, but that you referenced Jess Camara as like a big influence and pointed to what she's doing as like a pretty awesome thing with the uninvited contest.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered creating a free ride world tour style female driven contest?
Have considered it. It's funny, a lot of people have brought that up to me. Knowing what I know about how hard it is to pull off those competitions.
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
like
seem like an easy thing to orchestrate.
No, and I mean, like, the thing that's nice about the uninvited is like building like a park feature sort of setup is way like not, I shouldn't say easier, but just a little bit more
realistic.
attainable
Yeah,
than
for
finding
sure.
a venue for a free ride event.
Yeah, that has enough, like, you know, at least a foot of good snow,
Yeah.
ideally,
And the insurance and stuff that you need for all of
clear
that stuff.
weather for long lens shots and stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be amazing to be able to pull that off. I think I still just needed a couple of years to process everything and be a little less angry before I could like,
Yeah,
okay, now move
justifiably
into a
so.
different thing.
So, well, what were some of the positives of that experience? Like, what was George from Friday wanted to know? What was the coolest place that you got to go ride during that? Are there
Oh
any that
man, we
pop
got to
into
ride
mind?
so many amazing places. Like, obviously Japan was so sick. Like, riding in Hakuba in the Japanese Alps was like so unbelievable. And I just like, you know, I've been in Japan like 7 times now. It's like hands
yeah.
down my favorite place on the whole planet. Outside of that, like anywhere riding the Alps, like it's such an amazing thing to get to go out, like look at these peaks from the bottom with your binoculars and then like go out and just execute, you know, like it's like the coolest, like most confidence building thing I've ever done in my entire life, where it's just like, okay, like if I make a wrong turn, like I'm gonna get seriously injured and or die.
And that's how it works there. It's like you gotta scope it from the bottom
Yeah.
with binos and then go up there and
Yeah.
like I've heard you say before, it probably looks completely different when you're standing on top of it versus what you're trying to eye from down below, and you don't get any practice runs or anything like that.
No practice runs, no nothing like that. Like you, again, like, you know, there's zero room for error. Like if you make a wrong turn, like these are not like chill, like, you know, Mount Hood kind of runs that have very little consequence if you make a wrong turn. Like people have died and people get seriously injured on those things, and being able to just, you know, shut off the brain to a certain aspect and like let your body just like go into flow state, like that's the most positive thing I could possibly bring away from that. Like aside from all the bullshit with like the politics of the sport, like that was so inspiring to just see what I was able to push myself into doing despite having pretty subpar conditions 99% of the time.
One of the questions I had is what goes through your head mentally to prepare for a contest run like that? Like, what are you thinking before you drop? Do you have like a routine that you run through, or is it kind of circumstantial? And then like, can you speak to like what's going on in your head as you're riding? Because I know that the goal seems like it's to be like hollow head, you know, like just like present. But I feel like anytime I'm trying to do that, even if it's just like hitting this bullshit little small rock thing or something like that, like I have something that is like a mantra going in my head of like, even
Especially
just,
if it's something you've never hit. Too,
yeah, you're
right?
just like freaking out. Like I personally like to think of like a pro that I know of that would be like doing good on this and be like, yo, be like them, and like just like like a little kid, like pretend that I'm that person for a second, like, you know, helps in some way. Do you have a routine that you kind of stick to, or?
I mostly go into music mode. Like I always like, you know, before I drop in, I always have like a pretty like hyphy playlist. I really like to listen to like 90s hip hop and stuff before I drop into those kind of things, because it just like,
Hell yeah.
you kind of feel like a gangster, you know? You're like, yeah, like I got this. Like, and I like, you know, in the last years of the tour that I was there, we would get a couple of photos, like drone photos of the venue. So like, again, it's still not quite the same, but like I studied. Like I would be in my hotel room the night before a contest, or like the days leading up. Like I know exactly what turn I'm gonna put exactly where on that entire mountain. And I visualize the whole thing. Like,
so you're like visualizing mentally and trying
Totally.
to try and be there first.
Because
before you're
otherwise
actually
it's
there.
just like so overwhelming, and it's so scary to just be like, yo, like, you know, if I go over there, like there's that 100-foot cliff band, or like, you know, if I get lost in the trees, like I miss the, you know, and there's like a point of which where you go out of bounds and you like get DQ'd. So there's
really?
like,
So there's that in
sometimes-
the back of your head too.
Totally.
Especially if your run's on the edge of that, like,
Right.
yeah, I can only imagine.
And also, like, you always have to have a backup run in mind, too, because sometimes you get in there and you, like, think the snow is going to be one way, and so you have, like, your A run, and then you're like, oh, like, this snow sucks, and now you have to do your B line, and so you have to have everything just... But, again, it's
And you
just-
get one try at it.
Yeah, you only get one run.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's no
The
pressure.
fact that you're able to pull that off. So what do we have sitting on the table here? We've got these are medals from that contest series.
Yeah, so a couple of first place medals from Spain and Canada, and then a second overall medal, and then that hockey stick that's in front of there is from one of the first place runs in Canada, because that's the most Canadian trophy they could give
There
us.
you go.
That's awesome.
Fuck yeah,
That's epic.
that's sick.
Yeah, it's I've got a nice little box full of those guys at home that'll hopefully go on the wall one day.
Well, respect for doing all that, and I don't know, your decision to step away doesn't seem like it was an easy one. It seems like it was a little bit made in such a way that, like, you know, you didn't have a second choice about it. But I don't know, I'm all down to try to prop up the people that stand on business. I think
Thanks.
there's something to be said for that, and in the long run, hopefully that ends up working out better for you than if you would have just eaten it and bowed to the powers that be.
Yeah, a part of me would have died if I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone chimed in and asked if you've ever considered trying to get into the natural selection tour.
Yeah, so I've talked to Travis and Liam over there a couple of times. It's like, the hard part for me is I haven't done a lot of filming, and especially in those years when I was on the tour, like outside of my little project that I did, it's like you really have to be like film heavy rider. And despite feeling like I'm pretty qualified from like the free ride tour, it's really, it's a weird little mix of things that you have to get into there. But ideally I would love to do Natty Select, and I feel like, you know, that's kind of why I'm doing Kings and Queens again, to like get more eyes, because those guys are all watching that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so
Yeah,
ideally that would be it.
They say snowboarding is rigged, right? It's like there's no clear defined
Who hosts the
pathway,
Kings
but-
and Queens one?
Who hosts it?
Yeah.
Jackson Hole.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but like Jody and a couple of the other natural selection judges are actually judging this year too, so it's kind
Right.
of like some crossover stuff. I mean, and you know, Travis always watches that stuff too, because he's like Jackson native and all that.
So they just wanted some more video clips for natural selection.
Pretty much, that's kind of what it seems like to me. Because I mean, like, I've been riding like really big mountain lines and stuff like that, but not necessarily like doing as many tricks. Like I have, you know, like random little jump clips here and there, but not
Yeah.
like specific like filming in the backcountry.
Are there
kind of
any
stuff.
specific clips that you want to get in the backcountry?
I mean, I'd like
that-
to just be able to do any of my tricks I can do on park jumps in the
Just
backcountry.
like front three stalefish, everything.
Yeah,
All
like,
day.
Yeah, you know.
What do they call it? A sky hook,
Yeah, yeah.
which is a good name for
That
it.
is a good name
that's,
for
That's
it.
what it feels like.
I find it's a little challenging, like, living here, though. Like, I love living in Hood, but, like, for me personally, because I've been, like, I was traveling so much and on the road and, like, here and there, it was hard for me to find a crew that was, like, as motivated to do what I wanted to do as far as building jumps and stuff like that. And as you guys know, like, can't really go do it alone.
Yeah.
To film, you kind of like need other people
Yeah, at
around.
least one other
Do
person.
you think there's
ideally a
good
crew.
spots at Hood for filming backcountry or no?
I mean, yeah, you can build like the classic step ups. I mean, like
Yeah.
Sammy C did that for a really long time, and there's some other people that have been like building cool jumps. But like, you know, this is why I do travel more often than not in the wintertime here, because like Hood is amazing in so many ways. But as far as like being a big mountain freeride athlete, it's a challenging place to live.
Right.
Being that you're a big mountain free riding athlete, you have probably the most in tune perspective out of anyone I've been able to ask about this. How does Upper Bowl stack up? 'Cause
Upper Bowl.
Upper Bowl at Ski Bowl.
Okay, so full disclosure, I've never actually been to Ski Bowl.
Oh shit! Okay.
I know.
Well,
So-
we've got a training ground for you. Because Upper Bowl at Ski Bowl, you're standing up there and you're like, this has to be like what everyone else is. You know, there's a couple cliff bands there that like you can bite off as much as you want to chew, and the lap from the bottom to the top is pretty damn fast, and yeah, it's just. Actually, Ski Bowl sucks. Don't go there, guys.
Have you just
Especially at
always-
Powder Bowl.
Have you just
Powder Day. Do
always
not be
ridden
there.
for meadows, and that's why you just
I've
go there
always-
for the most part?
Yes,
Okay.
and also like I'm usually not in town most of the winter, and so like
Yeah.
the days that it's good at Ski Bowl, like I'm not here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not
like
gonna,
one good week of Upper Bowl. a
Yeah,
year
like
if
I'm
you're
not gonna like
lucky, yeah.
drive over there like just cause. I mean, I did get to go a couple years ago after Ski Bowl had closed. I got to go do like a little cat mission because they were just like trying to get some photos or something. So I did get to look at it and just like take a POW run, but it's not for lack of desire. I've heard really good things.
It also seems like it potentially could be a great venue for a free ride World Tour style event.
Right.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. It'd be horrible. It's poor man's Japan.
Maybe for like a junior
you know,
event
yeah.
though. Like I'm judging the junior freeride event at Meadows, and they do it like that kind of right under Blue Chair, like that main drag, and I feel like, you know, that's like one hit. But it sounds like that's kind of what that is too. It'd be nice for them to be able to mix up the venues a little bit.
There's like the way Upper Bowl goes down, it kind of has a saddle, or like it, you know, it steps out halfway down. I'm like, dude, if you just built a park jump right there into the deep powder
Endless landing.
yeah,
Oh,
it'd be
gosh.
so good.
Next
and then down at the
year's
bottom.
Hoodgirlzzz event's gonna be a free ride event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should be. That'd be sick.
I would
That'd be
help
dope.
facilitate
Ski
that. Let's
Yeah.
make that happen.
That'd be
Okay.
sweet.
She.
Build an event for Pinky
Say
and
less.
DJ Hood Trooper to go and freaking dominate.
That's
It's
awesome.
a women's event.
Oh well,
Yeah.
maybe have a men's category too. So one of the questions I had, and this is kind of off topic, but do you ever think that there is a feasible future in which we don't have the segregation of men and women in snow sports, in like snowboarding specifically? Like, do you think of, you know, and I'm probably gonna shove my foot in my mouth here, but I'm really trying not to. It's in most sport, you know, take like an MMA scene or something like that. If you have men and women competing, there's like different body types versus different body types, to where it's like that might not ever be feasible, or maybe it is. I don't know. There's the foot in the mouth. But what I'm trying to get towards is like, I see women's riding at such a fucking insane level now. Like, there's girls that are doing triple corks and like doing like just as big of jumps, just as big features, the same tricks, you know, for the most part.
With
like,
sicker grabs.
Sicker grabs, yeah, good style. Like, it's so like neck and neck, and skateboarding's pretty similar as well. Do you guys think that it's feasible for there just to be, you know, snowboard contests? The way my personal perspective is, I've always looked at it as like, oh, you're pretty good for. I haven't always looked at it as like, you're pretty good for a girl or pretty good for that. You know, it's just like, as a human, how good are you at doing the damn thing?
Right.
So, do you think that there's a place for just a contest across the board where it's not, you know, one gender versus the other, or does biology actually play in where it's like, you know, one half of the spectrum is more there to be like, to have more self-perseverance, to be a mother, and to you know, take care of things, and, you know, send the dude out to go fight the bear,
Right.
kind of a thing, or like, you get what I'm rambling towards there.
I
Do you
do,
think
yeah.
that there's room for us to compete against each other?
I think the gap is closing a lot faster in the slopestyle world and like half pipe world than it is in the backcountry freeride. I mean, like, men and women are inherently different, and I don't think that like that's something that like is even up for discussion. And I don't think that that's like a negative or a positive. That's just like the facts of life. We do look at things differently. Women generally are a little bit more, you know, have different risk tolerance than men do, and I think that's a good thing. And
you look at like a 17-year-old dude, and they're freaking idiots.
Yeah.
You know, like you just want to go as fast as you can into something and hit it with your head.
Right. Until you blow your knee or get a super gnarly concussion or whatever. I mean, I think that gap is, like I said, closing more on the slopestyle world. There's a long way to go. I think more as far as like tricks in the backcountry, like the women that are out there doing it really well, like Elena, like Robin Van Gin, you know, a couple of the other girls that are on Natty Select right now. Like, they're incredible snowboarders, but like you look at what they're doing versus like what Travis is doing, or like Sage or Red or any of those like people that are like really killing it. Nils Midnick, like surgeon. That dude is a fucking surgeon on his snowboard. It's the wildest shit to watch. And I think is going to take a lot of time. And I also like the consequences back there, I think, are higher than they are in the slopestyle world, because you have all the other dangers that are
It's
associated
less of a
with it.
controlled environment.
Yeah, there's a lot less resources if you get hurt. You have avalanches. You have like random shit you can just hit in the snow because you got unlucky. You know, you're not gonna like accidentally hit a tree stump in a landing of a park jump
Valid point.
break your leg. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it like needs to be like that either. Like I like having a women's category, and I don't think that
Fair.
that's like, I don't feel bad about like competing against other women. Like, but also to your point, like one of the greatest compliments I ever receive on my snowboard is like, oh, I thought you were a dude. Like when you hit something and they're like, I had that happen the other day and in the park, and I just, you know, I was just dinking around on the little rainbow rail, and this girl rolls up to me and she's like, oh, I thought you were a dude. I'm like, honestly, I like kind of love that. I wish that it wasn't like that still, but like, that's a good compliment for me.
Maybe the takeaway is it just really highlights how fucking insane it is if you see somebody doing something that is a female that is like more of like a top tier male level trick or something. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like that just adds to how insane that person actually is.
And the difference, I think, between men's and women's snowboarding too, which is, it's more of a mental battle, because like, especially like when I was growing up doing it, and like the women before me, like you were told like you can't do this. Like you're a girl, you can't do this. So like you've been told you can't do something your whole life. It's a lot harder to overcome and then even get to that basis level where it's just like a dude is just like, oh yeah, of course you can hit that jump, of course you can do a 360, of course you can do whatever. Like they're built up their whole lives into thinking like I can do whatever I want, where women it's like, oh no, you shouldn't do that, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
And so you have this like mental battle that you're overcoming at the same time as the physical battle, as well as all the bullshit like attitude in the park and stuff when you're getting in there. And like, I mean, we've all seen it, like, you know, the person that's trying to learn how to hit something in the park, and I'm sure we've all been on the receiving end and on the giving end of like, oh, like, what's this person doing? Or like feeling like, oh, these people are like mad at me because I fell on this feature. And so there's
It's
a lot of mental-
multifaceted. It's not just the underlying biology. It's the
Yeah.
the cultural,
Yeah.
you know, the less time that it's been promoted to like go get good at this thing.
Which is changing now drastically because there are so many women like shattering that ceiling.
Yeah, and
it's
like we
amazing to
can't
watch.
change the biology of it all, but we can change the attitude of, you know, inclusiveness
Inclusivity,
to
yeah.
to Nava.
Yeah, it's like
That's the
the
word.
invites of it. Like I was looking up, like I think at the Rockstar Energy Open, it was like 24 men were competing and it was 16 women. So it's like, I don't know what goes on behind
Is that
the
just
scenes.
because
Cool.
they can't fill
Yeah.
24 slots with women?
No.
Probably
No.
not, right?
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
okay, so it's like we got to create an equal opportunity kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, sick. You know, the more, and this is kind of the conversation we were having in the last episode, where I'm like, you know what? As a bunch of freaking straight white men, I don't know if we're the ones that should be having. Maybe we should be, but you know,
But
let's
that's
bring more
exactly-
people in to make sure we're not getting too off track here.
That's exactly the point, though. Is like we need you guys to have our backs. Like you guys control the world. Like have our backs.
I think skaters should rule the world. Personally, I think that they do a little bit more, they have a little more care involved in most of the things that they do. So you know, guy or girl, as long as you can kick flip, you're all right in my book. You know,
That's awesome.
and if you can't, you better be damn well trying. So that's where I.
Yeah, I
how
hope
I
it's gonna be
judge.
cool to see like if snowboarding can kind of follow what skating's doing with the women's things. It's just like blowing up in skating. It's so sick.
Yeah. Well, that's what we came here to talk about. Back to the fun stuff. How do you prepare for a free ride World Tour style contest, or like, you know, the Kings and Queens contest? Like, what are you doing to prepare for that? Are
Like
you just trying to go
just like ready for impact? Like,
Literally, like I was at
Yeah.
the gym yesterday just doing like the most squats and lunges and like, you know, again, because, you know, like we were talking about, there's not a ton of good terrain to jump off of at Mount Hood. So like that's kind of out. So it's more just mental preparation. Like I know I can do it. It's just visualizing and just, being ready for impact is really how I'm prepping for it right now. Spending time on the board. I mean, you know, like at this point I've been snowboarding for like 20 years. Like I know how to go snowboarding.
Scraping the rust off, yeah.
Like totally, like I'll be fine.
it's like deep in the muscle memory at this point.
Yeah.
How many times are you gonna jump into the couloir?
We get 2 runs. Well, we're allowed to take 2 runs. You can do one if you want to.
Okay.
You can do 2. Which last year, like, I don't know. Sometimes it helps to do 2 runs. I don't know which one of mine like actually scored better, but like I was 16 out of 24 to drop in, and like imagine like 15 people dropping into that before you.
And then you got to jump onto their bomb hole or like
And what
avoid
was
it.
even worse is like Veronica, who's a badass skier, she was trying to do a double backflip into it, and she just got smoked.
That's
and
nuts.
like,
It's just straight step down too,
it's
right?
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
just like.
How do they decide who goes first? And
We
who
have
goes
like a
last?
random ball draw. So
It's
like when they
random,
do the
okay.
halfway party, we just like randomly
Do
draw.
you want to
it.
go first, ideally?
I want to go like 4th.
Okay.
So you get to see someone and you still get a fresh landing.
Yes.
Kind of
Yeah,
thing? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So we're batting cleanup. Go
Yep.
4th.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so it was gnarly to watch all those people go.
So you're
and
kind
then
of
she
far.
got
Yeah, you're
hurt.
kind of far in the end. Right?
Far in the end, and
Yeah.
then they had to send like 6 ski patrol down to go get her, so they side
Okay.
slipped like the whole landing even more. And then the weather came in, and it was all like flat light, and I was just like, oh man.
Are there skiers at this also, or is it just
There's
snowboarders?
skiers and snowboarders.
Okay.
So there's 4 or 5. There's 4 snowboard women. There's 4 ski women, and then the rest of it is distributed between male skiers
Oh, it's
and male
a
snowboarders.
super small competitive field.
It's really
It's
small.
not like
They-
open invite style thing. It's like
No,
you
they
got-
just invite like a very small
Okay.
select few.
I can respect.
Thanks.
That's not, again, that funnel. That's crazy. So, and you mentioned that needing to do some filming, or like, you know, one of the things that they look at for like the not the free ride World Tour,
For natural
for
selection.
natural selection.
They want like a video
kind of
part
film heavy,
base.
yeah. And
kind of-
you going and doing that documentary. Are you interested in leaning more into the film side of things, or?
Yeah, I like being able to compete a little bit. Like having like an event like Kings and Queens is nice to just like kind of scratch that itch. But I would like to get out and film more and just, you know, find that crew of people that I want to do it with. Seems like, you know, again, more people that ride around here are a lot more park focused, which like, you know, it's fun to get in and tread with everybody like that, but that's not really what my focus
Yeah.
is. So it's like more of a travel thing for me. But yeah,
I
there
personally
should be-
like going out into the side country and trying to like. I mean, I'm not doing anything impressive by any
You were
means.
in a jump
but
like last week, weren't you?
yeah, we went out and built a little little thing.
That looked pretty
What
fun.
would
Shout
you-
outs to Chris Mondo Point. He goes out there, and every time we link up to go hit something, by the time I make it out there, he's already got the jump built and is like ready to test
That's
it. So
awesome.
I
That's the
owe
best
I
kind of
owe
friend.
him a couple builds, yeah. But no, I enjoy doing that stuff because it's
Give
just
him a couple
something
drink
different.
weirds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll toke him.
What would be your ideal crew? How many people would you want to film with, or do you have people in mind you would want to film with? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a couple of girlfriends. I mean, most of my friends that I really want to like go and link up with are all in Europe. I'd really like to just like get out to the Alps and just like be in Austria for a month and a half and Japan for like another month and kind of cruise around. I feel like the ideal crew size is like 4 to 5 people. Like I don't want a huge crew because that just becomes too convoluted with everybody and their alpha energy trying to dictate what's
Different
going
opinions.
on.
Yeah, especially if you're spending money to get out there and sponsor dollars and stuff.
Yeah, like 3 riders, 1 filmer, 1 photog, or 2 filmers, 1 photog, 2 riders is kind of like the best ideal thing.
And how, not to ask like a direct personal question, but I guess to do that exactly. How are you footing the bill for the traveling and everything? Do you have are you working in the off season, or do you have sponsors that are helping to support get you out there?
I do have sponsors that help support me get out there. Like again, it's frustrating because the women in most of these places just aren't you know, we're still not getting quite as much as I feel like we deserve on those things. My sponsors, I you know, them aside, I feel like are really good.
Yeah, no hate.
Yeah, no hate. You guys have treated me very well. I'm very excited.
What is your current sponsor list?
Right now, I still ride for Niche Snowboards. I'm on Zeal Optics. I have Pret helmets. I got Gordini for gloves and just kind of like a couple other little like, you know, flow sponsors. I'm kind of in the midst of outerwear deals right now. I had thought I had something lined up going into the season, and then unfortunately like the October, oh, actually we don't have budget thing happened, which is like always super frustrating. So
Dekine's not in Hood River anymore, right? I think that
no, but actually like Dustin, I'm sure you know Dustin Anderson.
possibly.
He's a old ripper, but now he reps Dekine. So he's just like getting me a kit this year just so I can have something new
Sick.
for Kings and Queens.
I always
but-
thought that that'd be like the sickest outerwear company to have because like anytime you go to Hood River back, I think they used to have the factory right
Yeah.
there. If I'm
Yeah,
not
they did
mistaken.
down on the waterfront.
Yeah, and you would see it there, so it's like synonymous with Mount Hood, and you know they make the best backpacks you could ever ask for, and
Yeah.
you know I'm sure their outerwear is just as good quality and stuff too. So
Yeah,
kind
it
would be a
definitely
sick
is.
one. Dustin, hit us up. We'll you know backdrop here. You know.
Yeah,
But,
he's great. Appreciate that.
Let's talk about Niche. We got your pro board right here from Niche.
Yes, sir.
How did that come to be? What was that process like?
Oh, that was like many years in the making. I mean, I've been riding for Niche now for almost a decade.
Okay.
So it was kind of, you know, they're a small company that's female run. They were the very first board company to be like fully eco-friendly, which I still just love and like support because they also, with their proprietary blend of eco things, they actually just like gave that to a bunch of other board companies in the industry, like just because they simply wanted a cleaner industry all the way
Sick.
through, which I think is like a really rad thing to do because they could have kept that, made it harder for other people to get on that bandwagon for a lot longer. So I'm like really proud of them for that.
Where are they based out of?
They're based out of Salt Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, and the two women that run the company are just like amazing. They put so much heart and soul into it and have treated me really well. And so the idea came up to do the pro model a couple of years ago because when I was riding for them, like on the tour for most of the time, I was always riding the men's boards because like the women's boards just like weren't stiff enough. And when you're riding chattery big mountain stuff, you really need some rigidity in your snowboard. And so I was riding the men's and we were like, okay, so talking about pro model, and I was like, I really want it to be unisex. Like I want men and women to both be able to ride this. So we had like the size runs that's small enough and big enough for the men and women. And the graphic was really like something that came, you know, kind of from my heart and soul. Like my nickname in the industry is the Viking, and because I do have Scandinavian heritage, my last name is Vikander, but it more came about because like the first years I was doing Dew Tour, the announcer like couldn't figure out how to say my last name, so he was like, and up next we have Erika the Viking, and so it kind of just stuck with me. So then we took like that concept of the Viking and, you know, kind of all these like, you know, ruins from the language. So we took like the ruins from the language. I have like all my mantras that I would say to myself. So I used to just like draw, be happy or like have fun or something on my top sheets, like with a marker, just to remind myself when I'm in those intense situations, like this
Yeah,
is
a little
supposed to be
sports
fun.
moment kind of thing. No, I back that.
So then we like took all those mantras, we put them into like the Viking ruin language. I have this like little ship that's kind of like a you know, a mirror of my journey. There's all these ebbs and flows. It's not a straight line, and I purposely like didn't put the ship all the way at the top of the board at
Did
the
you
nose.
do the art yourself on it, or was
I
it working
came
with
up
an
with
artist?
the concept with it, but Anna, who's the owner of the company, actually like made
Sick.
the art. She's super talented. She does a lot of the board graphics.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks. You can see the similarities to the other graphics in the line, like it comes from the same artist, kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's
she
cool.
did an amazing job, and I'm proud of that board. It's been a
What-
trip to look down and see my name on a snowboard as a little girl.
Did that just come out this winter?
That was out last winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And did they make more for this winter?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So the graphic's still the same.
Same
Still the same
graphic.
board. They're just
What size do you ride?
I ride a 54
Okay.
most of the time. And
Stiffer. stiffer 154.
But I ride this board in the park. Like, that board's super fun to, like, gym on. I mean, you know, once I've broken it in,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun
Stiffer
to
boards
gym on.
lock in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on the big, 157 wide Friday. That's like a regular cambered board, and that it just glues you onto the rail.
When you're doing these contests, do you like a fresh board, or do you like a board you've ridden a little bit?
Like a little bit. Like I'm riding my board from last year right now just because it's rocky and stuff. I'll probably whip out a new deck like a week before Kings and Queens just because I really want like
Get comfy
you come
on
out
it.
of there and you're like you land flat and then you're just going like a million miles an hour. So I really want something that's like stiff that can handle the chatter before you get to the money booter at the end that just like bottoms you out and then you're just chucked into the air. So
And you keep the edges sharp, or you detune them? Okay,
yeah, I'm
good.
not a
Sharp
jibber
edges,
anymore.
Yeah, okay.
I leave those babies alone.
Do you guys detune your edges?
Yeah.
I'll use a gummy stone.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like to take a lot off because especially like even I don't know riding park when it's like icy, you need your edges.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I've always been like, I don't want any edge on there. I will aggressively file it off for a really long time because I wanted to be able to like sloppily chew onto stuff and like not have any fear. But then I started listening to other like podcasts and people talk about it, and people are like, oh, the factory edge is like good. You don't have to like touch it. You're like actually, as long as you land flat base on the fucking rail or whatever you're trying to slide, like you'll be fine. But and to your point, like I would be going through the park and like not have an edge and just like wash out and stuff. So
Yeah,
now I'm
hit a
leaning
certain
more
spot.
towards like maybe not detuning. Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just detuning.
I feel like
for
it
the
could make
mental.
sense like certain rope tows in the Midwest and stuff where like you'll see a lot more of that, people taking off all their edge where it's just like man-made snow. It's a short distance. There's not like heavily like any amount of turning you really have to do. It's just like rail, speed check, rail. you
Yeah.
know? I don't know.
And again, I come from like the triple base lobster era, also being
Same,
like
where
I
you
like
didn't
the
really have to
mental.
touch 'em.
Yeah, the mental like ease.
So you're gonna
of-
detune your edges on your new board or not?
I haven't taken it to the steel yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
We'll,
You got your bindings
that's,
on?
That's a secret of why I'm asking this. Yeah,
got
I
your bindings?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
But
That
how
thing
they
is
hold up
fucking
on the
giant.
jump and the landing and stuff.
My binding blew out again. Oh yeah, shout outs to the Timberline Tune Shop. First day on hill.
Wow.
First day on hill. The people there. I don't
Yeah,
know about,
yeah.
you know.
Who was in there? Was it Paul in there? You know?
Fuck.
Jan?
I'm sorry if I
Maybe.
don't remember your guys' names, but you know who you were, and thank you very much. I said I didn't have cash on me. I'll be like, I'll be back. I'll throw
should
something to
Bring
tip
him some
jar. I will
stickers
be
at
back.
least.
Yeah, we'll hook
Bring
it
us some
up.
Europe.
Anyone, if you're going through the Timberline Day Shop, tip the Tune Shop for me. You know, because it was our first day on hill. It was like a really good snowfall. The storm finally hit. We're all fucking juiced up. We parked in the Molly lot. Went to go out, and I just like dropped in, did a little like nollie tail tap on the snow just because I was excited, and all of a sudden my back foot's all loose. I'm like, what the fuck? And I looked down and my binding had blown up, and I found the screw, found the backing thing, but the insert was missing. So I'm like, oh my god, my headphones are just playing like the best music ever. That's brand new snow. Morgan's on a new board. I'm on a new board. She's like out there like, I'm gonna go have some laps. I'm like, all right, go do that, and I will go and fix this. So ran up there. They had me back out there in like 5 minutes. So
Sweet.
Sick.
What
Shout
board
outs
is
to them.
Morgan on?
She's on a Friday board also.
Which
Yeah.
one?
The Public Enemy from?
Oh, sweet.
Or not the Public Enemy, the one that has the
like-
graffiti logo from a few years back.
The graffiti. Is it the twin?
Yeah.
I think that
Just
is
a
a public
smaller
enemy, right?
151.
Like the Rasta one or no?
No,
No, it's-
I had that board too. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
Sorry, George. It's a good board. It's
Yeah.
just I can't go back to a normal size board after being on the wide. I have like a 10 size 10 boot. So
Heritage.
which isn't that big.
That's what
Yeah,
it's called, the Heritage.
Ah.
Not that it's a giant foot, but it's like even just on a regular size thing, I can't go back to the mental factor of looking down and seeing that I have toe and heel drag. Like I like having a wide board.
You should do that with your skateboard.
I'm pretty wide. I skate. It's like a 9.5 that I'm usually on, or like a 9 something. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not quite in your department. You rock a giant.
No, but you're doing the flip
lunch
tricks.
tray.
You're good. You're
Yeah.
all good. You're doing crazy tricks.
It's all just mental.
Yeah.
You know, do a couple more flicks when you're training the ankles, and you'll be good to go. But how's everyone doing? Do we need a bio break? Are we all chilling for the moment? All right, we're back. We had to take a quick bio break and go get some more yerbs, re-up. Andrew, we're running low. This is our last case, so if you swing by BDK or the rope tow, hook the boys up and girls.
Do you have a favorite flavor?
I haven't ventured too far, but I like whatever this one is.
I like this mint
the
one.
mystical mint yerba tea.
And also this one,
Help
hibiscus.
yourself if you want one.
Hibiscus
We'll send you out
black
the door with
tea.
some.
That one
That
is
one.
fire.
Yeah, they were sponsored last year.
For the Hoodgirlzzz event?
Yeah.
Sick. Are there any upcoming Hoodgirlzzz events that we should plug while we're here?
Yeah, March 8th, round 2. It's the second annual Hoodgirlzzz International Women's Day event, but this year it's going to be at the Rope Toe.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Sick.
Was it Willamette Pass last year?
Yeah, there was like 200 people and like more than half were women, and like everyone walked away with a prize, and
Sick.
yeah, the vibes were high. It was an awesome weather day.
If you're in town during
Yeah,
that
you
time,
should come.
you gotta come,
Love that.
come to
Yeah,
that one.
there's going to be like videographers, photographers. It's just going to be like a hype. It's going to be like everyone's birthday.
Let's get the free ride event in there.
For yeah.
Free ride rope
Honestly.
toe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think there is room for one up on Upper Bowl. Or even, what's the, on Mogul? The Mogul Mountain?
On the east side?
Yeah. Is that
Oh,
called
on
Mogul
Cascade?
Mountain? What's it
Multiple?
called?
On
It's called
Cascade?
Jump Mountain or some shit like that? Where they have the
Oh.
other rope toe?
There's like the Cascade chair. There's multiple over there.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what.
Whatever
mountain.
that peak is that's over there. If you look on the map, it says Jump Mountain or Jump Hill.
That's above
because that's back where
Cascade.
they used to have like
Yeah.
the
ski jump.
back in the
Okay, yeah.
day.
So that's like up by like multiple, or like in the East
Yeah.
Lodge. Yeah.
It's just steep as shit to where if you like built stuff, you could definitely like have,
yeah, you could
have a
make
nice
something
steep
work.
deep
Yeah.
contest kind of thing.
I like it.
Well, back to my list of questions I have for you here. We're doing great. You're hanging in there. We're almost through it. But one of the big ones I had, and other people chimed in, so I kind of condensed all this into one question: is do you have any words of advice for riders, both male and female, who are looking to make a career in snowboarding?
Yeah, I feel like that one comes up quite a bit. The most important thing is to do it for you. Don't do it for the accolades. Don't do it for anything aside from like your true love of the sport. Because once you get out of that and you start to do it for other people's reasonings or because you're chasing results-based outcomes, you lose your love for it. And I've definitely dipped into that a couple of times in my career, and I always have to like, take a step back and remember like why you started doing this in the beginning. And for me, it was just, I love snowboarding. I love standing sideways, and whatever that looks like, I want to do that for the rest of my life. So outside of that, like, make a plan of action. If you want to be a contest rider, like, figure out how to do that. Like, figure out what contest series you need to get in to get to the next step. It's all a stepping ladder. It's kind of like the military in that way, where it's very regimented. It's very obvious. Like, if you want to be a contest rider, which for me I found was the easiest way to get to the level of like sponsor endorsements and that kind of stuff that I needed to in order
it's
to
kind of
have
like the nuts
financial.
and bolts. I think a lot of people are wondering about, like,
Totally.
okay, how do I do that?
Yeah. So for the freeride stuff, like, you start in the qualifying events and you have to gain enough points. There's like 4 different tiers of contests that you have to go through that. I've also written a blog about exactly how to get onto the Freeride World Tour, if that's what you're
Oh,
calling
sick. There you go.
It's because I had a lot of people
That's
asking
on your
me that.
website?
It's on my website, I believe. If not, I should put it on there. It was a few years ago that I wrote it, but I had a lot of people asking because it is very confusing. But you have to read the rule book, you have to play the game, and you have to play the game, and you have to play the game. And
you
you
go.
have to not lose your love like while you're on your way through it.
So maybe look at the events that you want to get into, then reverse engineered of how do I qualify into that? Oh, there's this series, and I have to qualify to get into that. Okay, it's that little junior series, and
Yep.
then start racking up points and figuring out how you're gonna mow enough lawns to get out there to qualify for those events.
Because it's quite expensive coming up through those series. Like, you're looking at like $200 entry fees for every single one, travel, hotel, food, lift tickets. Like, it's a lot. Like, once you're on the tour, all that's taken care of. But like, getting there is very
And then the stuff that you can handle as a athlete is the actual, like, getting yourself prepared enough to have the skill level and the physique to handle getting there and then producing the results that will then line it up to where you can actually attract some sponsorship into your court.
Yep.
So easy. Why doesn't everyone just
I
go
know,
do that?
it's so
like
easy.
black and white. Come on, people.
But it is getting a little bit more gray area nowadays with, like, there is this kind of film aspect and this route that you're able to take a lot more easily than when I was coming up, I think. Still to this day, fastest way from point A to point B is the contest route.
Yeah.
But there are some other people that have been making it by just like filming, and with the rise of social media, like, it's such an insane world out there nowadays. Like, you can just like make good content and end up getting paid a lot more than a lot of people are getting paid by like winning contests and stuff if you're good enough at it.
It's just
you have enough
whatever's going to
followers.
sell product for
Totally.
the people that are going to pay for you to go and represent their product.
Totally.
Which that's kind of a question to talk about too, is like, the advent of, with social media coming in, and there's like influencers, and like everyone has a film crew, and like, is it even feasible for young people and folks who are just getting interested in this to dream of being like a pro snowboarder? Do you think that that's going to continue to be a thing, or is it going to be more of just for the love as it goes on? Like, there used to be that there's magazines, and there's like a certain number of like big ticket movies that get put out and stuff, and if you can get into one of those, you're pretty much made.
Yeah.
But now it's like there's hundreds of videos that come out every year, and it's like it's kind of hard to stand out unless you're like, you really gotta be fucking crushing it to stand out amongst all that.
Yeah, it's really quite saturated nowadays, which is unfortunate because it is harder and harder for people to stand out. And, like, quite honestly, we do a very elitist sport. Like, this is not a cheap sport to be a part of. And if you are younger and coming up in it, if you, like, don't come from money, or you don't have a family that's, like, super into it, like, the barrier to entry of the sport is pretty aggressive and pretty gnarly. And so, like, generally speaking, and we all like need to realize how lucky we are to be able to do this, and that we've had the opportunities that we do have. I think
most of our listeners, if they weren't working at the resort and for the resort in some facet, would not be able to afford to
totally
do this.
And it's such a shame. Like, I talk to people who are like, these events that I've done in Portland and stuff, like there's so many people that live in Portland or like Salt Lake or Denver that are like, look at the mountains and have never got the opportunity to go up there and like be a part of that scene, which is like really sad. But back to what you were asking, like, I think it's just going to get way, way, way harder. And like the more money that like the younger kids, essentially parents, have to pour into them, are like the only people who are really going to be able to like truly stand out as far as like the resources needed to be at the top level of the sport. Or you're like a really hot girl and can like barely snowboard and have a huge following on social media, or
just push
like
some dope
dude
snow
that's
product.
like, yeah, exactly. Like, which is unfortunate. And you're like, damn. And then there's guys that are doing that too. I can't think of an example quite as.
What's
as
cool
heavy
about
as
like
that.
the splitboard scene and like the free ride stuff is you don't, and even like urban riding, like going and jibbing in the streets, if you live in somewhere that there's snow and stuff, you don't have to have a season pass to go get good at the damn thing. You
Right.
can go out there and like have a little of initiative, and like the best days that I have out there are in the side country or like in the streets with the friends when we are lucky enough that snows here.
Yeah.
The rope tow's sick, and like the cheaper options like that are sick, but honestly going and hot lapping the resort doesn't really do it for me so much anymore.
I agree with that, but also like to get into the sport, like most people aren't going to get into the sport and like go into the streets, and they for sure should not go into the backcountry. So that's
True.
like a whole different conversation
totally.
to have about safety.
There are more avenues though. It's like if you get the equipment and go out there and
Yeah.
find a spot to go and do it, and like it's don't let that $1,000 frickin' pass like
Yeah.
deter you from like going and
Right.
doing what you want to do.
But also don't go into the backcountry if you don't know what you're doing and you haven't taken an Abbey 1 course and you have no idea what you're doing. Just because you own a beacon does not make you qualified to be out there.
True.
Just
What
PSA announcement.
what do you have in your pack for going out? What's your if you're going out on like a backcountry mission, do you have a kind of your checklist of like what's in your bag?
Yep.
Like, do you?
Yeah, I mean, you always have, beacon shovel probe, obviously. You got radios, extra layers, snacks, of course, lots of water, electrolytes. Always have a lighter and petroleum-based chapstick.
Okay, that's a good
Little
one.
knowledge for you. Petroleum-based chapstick is a really good fire starter. So if you ever get in a situation where you need to like make a fire because somebody got hurt, or you're like not going to make it out of the zone. Ideally, I always like to have a pocket knife or some sort of like little collapsible like table saw. So if you need to like saw trees or something, like something like
That's a
that
good
is
one.
good. Yeah, that's pretty much like my lightweight checklist.
There you
Depends
go.
how big of a
Have
bag I
you
want
had
to
any
bring.
situations in the backcountry where you had to do survival
Is this wood?
thing? Nothing.
Fortunately,
For the
no.
sake of it.
But you're ready for it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like I have the skills and the knowledge. I hope I never have to use them.
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Totally.
That's for sure.
Kind of back to the first question of like giving advice out to folks. What about for people who, and this was another one that Morgan came up with, do you have any advice for female snowboarders who would like to get more involved behind the scenes in the industry, but maybe they're unsure of where to start?
As far as like filming and like that
Or like
kind of
Just
working
stuff.
for
like, you know,
brands or something.
Managers, like you mentioned it in your documentary,
Yeah.
like there needs to be more female like team managers and like running like contests and things like that.
Yeah.
Just like more female representation.
for if the microphone didn't pick that up, she was saying for like the team manager positions or like people that are working more on the back end of snowboarding.
Industry
you know?
reps and
yeah,
stuff, right?
Look at like an iceberg, right? The tip of the iceberg are like just the people that we see that are like doing the damn thing, like, you know, the pros, and then beneath all them, there's a lot of people that are moving the parts around, creating graphics, you know, doing the accounting at businesses, like making sales calls, designing products.
We're not all going to be pro, but a lot of us have the passion for it.
Yeah.
Like maybe we have talents in other areas and would just like to be involved in that way.
Yeah.
Like maybe is a good place to start if you're like totally unsure.
I think the most important thing about trying to find your way in the industry as a female is using your voice to advocate for what you want. If you never speak out loud like what you want, you're not going to manifest it. The people around you aren't going to know that you're even interested in said thing. And I think a lot of times like females we're made to feel small in those situations because it is male dominated. And while most of our, you know, the males around us are cool, like, you know, what we're dealing with right now, if they don't know what you want, then you're never going to get it. So like asking for what you want is like just the baseline of what I always tell people in those kind of situations, which, you know, seems obvious, but like it's hard to do that. Like asking for what you want and what you know you deserve is also like a challenge. Outside of that, it's just like putting yourself into those situations where you can wear a bunch of different hats. Like, you know, you don't have to limit yourself to just this or that. Like, you know, I'm not just a snowboarder. Like, I'm also good at social media. I can also like push boards. I can do this or that or whatever. And so it's like believing in yourself, just like I'm sure you have many talents outside of just loving snowboarding, you know, like you're making hats and like doing all this other cool stuff. So like being proud of wearing those hats, I think, and just asking for what you want. Because the worst that's going to happen is you're going to get told no and you're in the same position that you're in currently.
Yeah. Don't
But
be
you have
afraid
an
to shoot
answer.
your shot and let people know about it.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to work in the industry when you're done being a professional snowboarder? Do you want to stay in snowboarding, or you're not sure?
I don't know. I mean, I will always be a snowboarder and love snowboarding. I don't know if working as a snowboarder in the snowboarding industry is like really what I want to do. There's
Okay.
a lot of other industries that interest me that actually have like a very lucrative financial backing
There
to
you go.
create a different life for myself.
Somewhere warm.
Dirt bagging, it's
Yeah.
not for everyone, you know.
Yeah, like,
Not for everyone forever. Right?
Yeah.
Well, good advice. Good advice. Do you have? Here's the one of the final listener questions. Is do you have an all-time favorite line? If so, what made it so special, and what was going through your head at that time?
My all-time favorite line was the first freeride world tour event that I won in Spain, and it was the first year that we ever competed on that mountain, so like no one had ever ridden that line before, and
That's
everything
sick.
just like lined up perfectly. I had like a sick like triple cliff hit in the middle of it. I had to like execute everything perfectly, and it was like full on flow state. Like everybody talks about like how you go into like video game mode, and I was like legit nodding my brain, and all my body was just like boom, 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 ding, 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 like points, and it was just like the sickest feeling. And I got down, it was like I almost like blacked out. I got down to the finish line, I was like, where am I right now? Like look
Fuck
back
yeah.
up and then like to see the score and to like that's hands down my favorite line. There's a lot of other like fun lines, but that one was a very nice like immediate reward factor after kind of
I was
thing.
about to ask if when you get to the bottom if you're like totally present or if it feels like that, like if you blacked out, you know?
Oh, I
That's
blacked
so
out for
cool.
sure. I also like noticed when I first started competing on the tour, like, cause they want us to wear GoPros on our heads, and like, I would hold my breath through like half of the run. It's so gnarly. So I'd literally be like about to pass out at the bottom because I
Yeah.
haven't breathed for like a minute and a half.
Jeez.
I've worked on that since then. Breath work is also very important, people. But
For the rider and the filmer.
Yeah.
If we were doing buddy laps the other day, and I'm like, I've been doing a lot of exercises, but I haven't been doing a lot of cardio. I noticed it in that moment because I'm sitting there trying to film. I had just done my shit and was like hiking back up, and then the homie was going. I was like, all right, it's dropping, and then it starts shaking at the end, you know.
It's funny how that's like your natural instinct when you're like afraid or overly hyped or something, is to like hold your breath, and like that's the time you need to be breathing like the most efficiently, you know,
Yeah.
like, pumping all the blood and oxygen through. But
I was listening to
Maybe that's why you blacked out. Just, the oxygen's not quite there.
no, that's 100% it. Like I like blacked out because I wasn't breathing.
That's awesome. I was gonna say I was listening to Jocelyn talk about Trey flipping El Toro, and he said that it was literally came down to breath work, where he's like couldn't handle that impact if it wasn't like the breathing. So yeah, I don't know. It's easy to overthink that shit too if you're like in the moment, but yeah,
That's
just
sick.
go into video game mode. There you go.
Sometimes. Sometimes you die and lose a life.
Nick Rayleigh 710 wants to know what's your favorite Meadows run?
Ooh, favorite Meadows run. Depending on what the vibe is like, I actually really like, there's some fun runs off like into Heather's Canyon over like in Clark's area. I don't want to like blow up my
Yeah, we don't have
spots
to give
too
it all
much,
away, but
like,
the ones that
over
know will
yonder,
know.
There's some fun stuff. And like the mainstream one that I always really love is the Tunnel of Love. I feel like it's really like underrated. It's like this nice sick little natural gully half pipe thing. It's so fun. Like when it gets like fully worn in, there's like all these sick little hits over rocks and stuff. It's,
Okay, fuck yeah.
I like it.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I'm admittedly not much of a Meadows local. I've just always had the Fusion Pass or ridden Timberline and Ski Bowl. I usually go to Meadows at least once or twice every year, but I'd love to go and ride that place more.
Their
'cause-
parks look like they're incredible right
Yeah,
now.
it looks like they're kind
I
of.
saw a video like yesterday. It looked like it's firing.
Yeah.
Well, I might know a girl that could get you guys some tickets if you ever
Oh,
want to
hell
come
yeah,
over
hook it
and
up. And not throwing any shade in Meadows' direction. It's just I live on this side, so it ends up being closer. And the lines there seem like they're freaking atrocious when it's like. What's your secret for battling the Meadows line? Do you get there early? Do you go there late and wait for it to fizzle out, or? You just take
it just is what it is. Like, also, the lines that we deal with in Oregon are still nothing compared to lines like almost anywhere else in the continental
Damn.
U.S. as far as places that you want to go shredding. So
I don't have the patience for it.
I don't love it, but like again, we're lucky to like be like snowboarding, doing an elitist
True.
sport,
I'm
and getting to
jaded.
like ride a freaking
Yeah, yeah.
chairlift. So
Yeah.
like, if you have to wait a little bit, like it's all good,
Definitely
Or if
well
you don't want to
jaded.
wait, then like go into the backcountry.
There
with
we
the
go.
Correct knowledge.
We'll be standing there at the bottom, and it'll be like a 2-minute wait. I'm like, yeah, fuck this. Let's go build a jump. Like,
Yeah, my patience has improved a lot in the last couple of years, but
Hell
this
yeah.
is what it is.
and one of the questions that we always like to ask our guests that come in is, do you believe in silent rock? Why or why not?
I do, simply because that was just what was ingrained into my brain ever since I started coming in here. So I always turn off the music and I always hold my breath and I tell everyone else to. And I will say, like, the days that somebody has talked through it, it's not happened to me, but the person who talks has like gotten fucked up.
Yeah, they get smoked.
It's real.
See? Yeah, silent rock's powerful, man.
Yeah. Don't mess with the best. Silent rock.
One of the running jokes is that it's a sign of respect to Tim Wendell, who supposedly did a melon grab, or no, a mute grab.
I've heard this one.
Yeah.
That's what Andy said.
Weddle. We'll call
Yeah,
it
that's
Weddle.
what we used to tell all the kids on the bus on the way up there. There's no way that happened.
That's great.
Love Tim,
maybe someday
but
we'll get Tim on here and get his perspective on it. That'd be a good controversial episode.
that
It'd
would
a
be
good one.
hilarious. Did you see his daughter's like out there competing on skis now? She just
Is
won
she?
a USASA event.
I saw
Damn.
her last year.
So
She's like
sick.
this tall, like
Yeah.
greasing the down flat down.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, she's crushing
Yeah,
it.
she's one
Athena
of my
or
students.
whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No
Okay.
way.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
She's
The-
sweet. She's funny.
The last time I saw them, I think she was on a bike with training wheels. It's quite a few years.
She's
Wow.
tiny.
But it's crazy how fast the kids at camp, like,
Grow.
all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? Like, Jamie used to say at the skate coach, he'd be like, dude, I'd see these kids at camp, they're like 9 years old in a helmet, and then like, 2 summers later I see him and it's like some dude with a mustache and a cigarette being like, Jamie, do you remember me? It's just like, what?
He's like, damn.
The big one I'll bring up right now is Alejandro.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crushing it. Did you guys see that? Like, it's
Triple? or
Yeah,
something?
triple
Yeah,
cork in the pipe. He's a Mount Hood kid. I
Yeah.
think he's 17 right now, but he's a
What?
camp kid that, like, last time I saw him, I don't think he was even talking. Like,
I
super
don't think
young.
he was talking.
Yeah. It's crazy. His dad would always talk for him. He's like, Ali, go higher.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for coming in, shooting shit with us, and letting us just like barge you with questions there. If anyone has any more, definitely dive in. But we'll wrap into our segments that we do here on the show. We also like to do the Hood News, which is just catching up on what went down since the last time we sat down and did this. And it's been a while, you know, it's been like almost a month. So the winter finally turned on. One of the things I want to bring up, it was a while back, but I think it was your first day on hill strapping in for the year was at that contest in Bend that you ended up winning, right?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Deck the Walls, I think. Yeah, it was like a wall ride, quarter pipe kind of jam
Okay,
thing.
sick. Did that kind
downtown
of take
Bend.
the place of Bend Winterfest?
Honestly, I don't know. I
I
just
think that's still happening.
Oh, okay.
It is.
They're still doing
Didn't Pete put that?
yeah, he did.
Hit on,
And he
yeah.
has another one in February coming out.
Yeah.
Did you win a couple bucks?
I did, yeah. Pete's so generous, man. He just threw in his own. Like there wasn't a cash prize.
Oh,
he just threw in his own money. Yeah.
That's
sick.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was
Congrats,
awesome.
dude. That's
Awesome.
sweet.
Oh, thanks.
Looks like a fun setup.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was cool.
What'd you do on it?
Just tried to survive, kind of. I was like, everyone was honestly really scared of the drop in because it's like you haven't strapped in at all yet, and then you're like climb up these ladders that are like ratchet strapped to the scaffolding, and climbing up's kind of scary, and then you're up there like
In front of
oh,
people,
gosh.
they're like, dance now, monkey, go.
And then there's
Yeah.
like some of the skiers drop in switch, so they got to go backwards down it. and you're
Oh,
like,
damn.
oh.
Were you feeling comfortable or no?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. It was terrifying the entire time. I can't believe I landed anything.
I was looking at him like, I don't know if he realizes this or if anyone else realizes this, but Connor's low-key been training for this for months because it looked
Just skating ramps,
Yeah, it
I
looked like
guess,
the
yeah.
snow version
It
of
was
what
like
you've been
10 and a
skating
half.
every
It's like
day.
the deep end. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty solid.
So we'll look forward to that
Anyone else
backflip on your
throwing
board
down
now.
there?
Yeah, everyone was.
Yeah, there
People
we
were
go.
going crazy. It was cool.
saw Jeff
There's a guy on a
Hawkins was there.
mono
Oh,
ski.
yeah.
Oh,
Jeff
hockey.
Hawkins.
Yeah, see, you know.
Yeah, he got highest air. He was killing
Yeah,
it.
Of course he did.
Sick.
He did like the highest air like 20 times
That
too, like a
sounds
lot
great.
of them.
That
Yeah.
dude's got springs in his boots. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Sick. Super sick.
Respect there. What else went down? There was the whole storm that happened up here. Like, it looked like a freaking tornado. Like, attacked.
All the landslides back on the
Yeah,
Salmon
there's
River and stuff.
landslides, trees down everywhere. We live down on the Clackamas. Like, our whole neighborhood flooded under, like, 10 feet of water. Like, we straight up were out there in waders, like, wrapping our neighbor's house in, like, plastic wrap and,
Wow.
like, just trying to keep the water out. And,
Yeah.
that was just wild. And then after that, winter actually started, so
Mm-hmm.
that's good. And then Christmas break happened, and part of that was we had the bridge party. Did any of you guys go to that?
Yeah.
How was it? Well, from the first person, I know that you like work with kids right now and everything, so we gotta keep this, protect your job. But what was your take on the bridge party and the cops coming and shutting it down?
I mean, I think I had a good view on it because I'm like sober right now, so I'm like
For sure.
My mind's 100%. But it was crazy. There was a lot of people. I mean, I that was my first year doing it, so from my understanding is like they were already kind of like geared up and ready to come up based on like past years' experience. Yeah.
Because normally
It was
everyone,
crazy to me. I'm like,
New Year's happens and everyone goes and stands on the overpass over 26 in Govey in like Moon's cars, and it's just like a big like event and stuff. And I think that what happened is someone threw something off of there last year and it broke someone's windshield.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not cool.
Yes.
I mean, and there was like still families in their cars like exiting ski bowl, and like people like it wasn't soft snow, like it was ice chunks, and people were like throwing them at the cars and stuff. Which I'm
Okay.
like,
Yeah, it's like you're asking
it's
for
like,
it in
let,
that.
just let them go through. Like,
But then I saw, you never know what is actually happening in reality when you're looking at the lens of social media. But it made it look like the cops just swarmed Govey and like
Yeah.
shut down. Which, how many times have you ever seen 20 cops in Govey?
No,
before?
literally, yeah,
Never.
it was
So it
excessive.
seemed like there's like this whole like pre-planned like maneuver to go up there and shut down the bridge party.
yeah.
Which, I don't know. Maybe we should feel honored.
I'm like, yeah, they have a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Let them have their moment.
It's an interesting scenario up there. And then the rope tow finally opened. So thank you guys for going out there and doing that. Connor, you had a hell of a day getting the rope tow open.
Yeah, it was fun. I did like a rope tow build and then a build at Timberline and Thunder. And yeah, it's been awesome. I actually got to go open the rope tow here shortly.
Oh, hell yeah. You're up there today?
Yeah.
Sick.
Uh-huh.
Should
And
be a
then
good day
T-line
for it.
tomorrow.
We don't have any snow in the forecast that we can see right now. Are you
Nope,
guys
it's
planning on
straight
staying
January.
open?
We're just surviving as long as we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then do they have any talk of like maybe run into condition-based operations, or is it they're just going to stay open as long as they
Come to
can?
the rope tow
Yeah.
today because we're probably closed tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come to the rope tow. That's that.
Maybe not.
I don't know how fast I'll be at
how
editing
you
this,
think
but
about
I'll
it.
try. See if we can get it out in time to
Yeah.
spread
Are
the
you going
knowledge to the
today?
people.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, fucking rope post production rope tow.
We're gonna
See, we'll all be there,
Donovan
so you
to
might as
go
well
in.
pull up. Yeah.
We'll see. We have some family in town. I have to. I got my
can go, too.
responsibilities. Yeah, true. Let's get Nish up there.
Also, I don't know if anyone saw, Leif did put out a heater edit of all of last year's stuff from
Thank
the
you.
rope tow.
You-
That
you-
kind of has to get
Some
some
of the
shine.
clips were
next-
already in other edits, but it was a pretty good edit. Thank you.
That was sick.
Was it back on my bullshit,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know if there's more to it. More to the title. Yeah. No, fucking respect that. It's some of the best rail riding that you see is in those. I thought you were going super low key with it too, because when you first posted it, I went to like try to repost it, and I was like, damn, you can't even. He turned off the reposting on
I
it.
think
That was the distribution burner
posted
account.
my burner to make sure it worked.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
what it
that's
was.
what
I
was
was just
going
like,
on there.
man, you're so secret with it. It's so cool. But yeah, respect to everyone that's in that. It's like insane riding.
Yeah, Connor had some good clips, so check it out.
Moke stuff in the bog. There's like a rail to the dirt patch
Yeah.
at the end. It's literally just a rail. I think it was the knob rail. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a knob rail with skate stoppers on it into just like a mud puddle. It's just sick to watch. I love it.
That was good clips.
It's one of those things where like when you see it go down in person, you're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? But then you see the footage, you're just like, oh my god, okay, I get it now. Yeah, that was sick. And part of that, we do have our scum of the week for this episode. I think that we're gonna give it to Charlie because of
Because he got arrested.
because of his showing
staging.
staging an arrest up there during the bridge party when all the cops were in town. He had a very
Incredible.
That was
convincing
pretty
photo
funny.
that was just like kind of hit the nail on the head there. So I'll play
Yeah.
the music for you. Hey Charlie.
Congratulations, you are one scum of the week.
Hell yeah, Charlie! I got some Hood Report merch for you. I don't think he has any yet.
We gotta get him.
He
some.
might have gotten Scum of the Week last year, but
I don't think
we'll make sure that he's all lined up with it. And then for upcoming events, I know that at the end of the month we got DGS BYOJJ. Do you know what DGS is? Dive Scum.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. And then we do the
Bring your own joints is PJ.
bring your own jib jam.
Jib joints.
Yeah,
Jams. My
jib
bad.
jams.
Yeah.
So everyone gets together.
You will bring your own joints as well.
Bring your own joints.
Definitely
There
bring
might
your
be
own
some
joints.
provided. You know.
There's some freebies, right?
Yeah, some freebies usually there. You could probably win a couple, if, judging on events past, but I don't know the date on that. I think it's just the end of January
29th of
Okay.
January. Yeah.
at an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
But
Love it.
people that know, pay attention.
Sweet.
We'll have the information out there. Show up, bring a shovel, start building something cool to jib right now. Every year I say we need to have the wagon. You know, his logo's like the wagon on fire. Like we need to burn a wagon and have a jump over it or something.
That'd be pretty
like that.
sweet.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it'll start snowing if you do that.
Yeah, right?
We'll gift to Uller.
Yeah, throw all of our own snow gear on there and fucking make a hole in the ozone. Let's get some snow going. Whatever we can do. What else do we got on upcoming events? We got the Uncle Andy show, who makes our theme music, or we stole their song and made it our theme music. Thank you, Uncle Andy. That's going to be on January 24th at 8 p.m. at Pub 26. Sounds like a couple other bands will be there too, so make sure to get in there and get rowdy. Have you been to an Unk show yet?
No.
It's
Can't say I
a
have.
good excuse to get over here. It's good rowdy. Like you probably know Andy. He was a Salt Lake local, Hood local, made the pilgrimage a bunch of times. So
What's his last name?
Andy, first name Uncle.
Yeah, I'd probably know him if I saw his face.
But yeah, definitely worth showing up to. So go get yourself a chicken burger at Pub 26. It'll be a good time. And then we got the Hoodgirlzzz event going on. I saw that there's the Girls Winter Film. Was it Girls Winter Film Fest
Yeah,
going
he
on?
wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so She Jumps is putting that on in Hood River.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we had our Hood Girls like women's film night a few weeks back.
Which was kind of in the middle of the flood and the storm and
Yeah.
everything. So
it was a good turnout.
Was it
though.
still a
It
good
was like
turnout?
60 people.
You got any
like
other
5
events
films.
besides the International Women's Day?
Kind of whatever pops up. Also, if there's any like girls watch, like I love when people hit me up and are like, "Oh, like I think it would be so fun to do this." I'm like, "Perfect, do it, and I will support you, and I will help you in any way. I'll post it. Like I'll even make a flyer for you, like
Fuck yeah.
something like that."
I got one for you right now. We should do the longest lap at Ski Bowl.
Okay.
I saw they did that at Troll,
Oh yeah.
which was insane. That who is it that did like
There's a bunch of them.
200
A bunch of them did
plus
16 and a
miles
half
on the road.
hours.
Yeah.
I think.
Java.
Yeah. She won it?
Yeah, she got first place.
That's so insane.
200 miles on the rope top?
Yeah.
I think she rode for 16 and a
They
half
set like
hours.
a bunch of Guinness
Yeah.
World Records, I think.
Yo.
I wanted to see the before and after of like the base graphic. Because it's like
Oh,
200 miles on a snowboard, like, you know, you don't really think
But
about it. You're
also, like,
oh.
after 10 laps, when your arches start burning,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, that's insane.
Yeah, I don't think they
200?
unstrapped. Maybe
That's
they did.
that's impressive.
Didn't seem like they did.
Yeah.
Also, every first Tuesday of the month, whoever can make it, we meet up for coffee at like 11 o'clock at Coffee Brewsters.
That's a get together.
Okay.
Just to talk, hang out.
The first
get to see each
Tuesday?
other. Yeah, first
Sweet.
Tuesday of every month.
Sounds like a good time to go get breakfast. There you go. And we also have the Kings and Queens of Corbett. That's how you say it? Corbett?
Corbett's.
Corbett's?
Yeah.
There
When's
you go.
that?
I don't know why they make it plural because there's only one, but Corbett's.
When is that and how can we watch? Is it live streamed?
It's
Pro-
gonna be
yeah.
live streamed. I think it's also on Red Bull, like recap after the event. But the weather window is February 7th through the 15th. So we'll come together as athletes and decide what day we want to compete out of that weather window. There will be an absorbent amount of updates and stuff like that from Jackson Hole and TGR and Red Bull as far as the announcement of
Is
what's
it hard to
happening.
decide when you're going to do it?
Not really, because
Yeah.
it's like the thing I love about that contest is it's all athlete driven. So like we judge each other, we decide like when we want to compete, and so we like have meetings every day that are like usually fueled by beer.
People are usually pretty in agreement.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
like, oh, like tomorrow looks like sunny, like it's
Yeah.
gonna be sick, like let's send
Okay.
it. And then like they put us up for the whole week anyway, so like none of us like care when we compete because we're just like shredding
You're
Jackson.
there.
The
whole time.
longer we can put it off, the better.
Or
Keep it
like
going.
do it in the
First
beginning, so
day,
then we're
yeah.
just
And
riding
then you can
for the
go.
rest
You
of
can
the
still
week.
stay and ride and
Yeah,
stuff.
because
Okay,
they put
sick.
us up in like hotels. We get early ups on the trams. Like let our
yeah.
partners come. Like last year, I got to bring my boyfriend. I was like, this is the greatest deal of all for you because you get like all the pro snowboarder treatment without having to do any of the pro snowboarder
There
stuff.
you go. Something to be said for being the towel boy, man.
Genius.
He's the best. He's the best human of all time.
That's awesome. It's good to have a good one in your corner. What was I gonna say? Oh, so it's athlete judge
Yep.
too. Like everyone comes together and like votes on it. That's so sick.
Yeah, so we like one of those days after we compete, we go sit in the TGR Theater in downtown Jackson. We watch everyone's runs twice, and so we have like these sheets. It's all anonymous, and then we just like score each other on their
Okay.
runs, which I think is a really cool way to do it because most people don't know like the condition. Like it's hard to be judged by somebody who A, can't do what you're doing, and B, hasn't been in there like knowing like what the conditions are like. So it's really nice
cool.
to have that. Like, you know, we are like, oh, like it was absolutely fucked when that person dropped, like, and they still pulled it together. So like, you know, give them a little something extra.
I like that. That's more contests should do that.
Yeah,
I think it's
it's a
pretty
really
sick.
cool way to do it, and a lot less. I mean, it can still be biased because it's like, you know, people have their friends or whatever. But
Yeah.
I definitely, I don't know, been on both ends of the biased judging thing.
If you have enough people and they're voting, it all mellows out.
Yeah, you kind of get the median of everything.
Fuck yeah. Well, thank you again for coming on. Kind of wrapping it
Did you
up
see
here.
our people trying to get in BK? That was
No,
our,
I was wondering
that was
where
our
you're pointing
first
at.
of the day.
Okay.
You know,
yeah, we
there's
normally have a
always
couple.
somebody, right?
Yeah. Every episode, someone comes in. And
If you need any
comes
skate
in.
stuff, come to BDK Board Shop in Sandy.
Facts. Yeah. You got that Christmas money burning a hole in your pocket? Come on, kids. Get in here. Buy a board. It's stocked up right now.
Yeah, it's a nice
Coming in
looking
here this
wall.
morning, I'm like, oh, fuck.
What's the
I need to
most
come buy
recent
some
board you
stuff.
got?
I just got one of the flight decks I'd never tried. It's like they like put like weird material. It's not just like traditional like Canadian maple or whatever. It's got like I don't know if it's fiberglass or
9.3?
Kevlar. It's a 929.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How many boards do you think, or how often do you go through your boards?
yeah. If it's like well, that's why I got this flight deck because supposedly they like have longer life, you know. But it's probably like a month, 3 weeks to a month on a deck. If I'm skating like bowls, it will just like the concave will kind of fold out just from pumping so much.
Yeah.
It will just like lose its like rigidity or whatever. So I don't know, yeah, like 3 weeks to a month. And then if I'm skating a small board, I can do flip tricks and chip it whenever. It could be like 3 days. You never know with those things.
True.
It's tough.
I used to be like that. I used to be like my skateboards would be like every week or something, or like as soon as like something wasn't going right, I'd be like, fuck it, I need a new one.
Yeah, I definitely look for an excuse to buy a new skateboard
There you go.
anytime I get the chance. Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but
Yeah,
they
how
last
long
me
has it
like,
been for you?
dude, I'm on like a board a year style train right now, but it's the same board. You know, I just do the same shit, so it's yeah. Maybe I need to start skating harder again, jumping down stuff. All right. Well, thank you again for coming in. Do you have any thank yous that you'd like to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah, well, thank you guys for having me on the podcast. Appreciate the platform to have a nice chat. Of course, thanks my sponsors and my family and my sweet boyfriend and the snow gods. Give us some more snow, please, and I will give you greater thanks.
Yeah, 1 week was not enough. Let's have a full season here. Well, thank you to BDK Board Shop and a record shop in Sandy for letting us do the damn thing in here. Shout outs to Drink Weird and Andrew English for keeping us caffeinated early in the morning here. Looking for that re-up. Come on, let's go, Andrew.
Yeah, right.
Friday Snowboard Co., thank you. Hoodgirlzzz, thank you. Chuuch, DGS, Matt Hood Mobile, shameless self-plug. If anyone needs brakes or automotive work, hit me up. You know where to find me there. PortlandSkiRentals.com. That's Mondo Point's company. I'm going to plug it for him because he's out there
Awesome.
building the jumps for me.
That's
I know
awesome.
that most people listening to
You
this...
set up your last spot.
Yeah, most people listening to this do not need to go and rent skis, but maybe you know someone that
Some
does.
people
Maybe you
might.
got some family coming in town. Maybe it's a big storm day. Maybe winter finally arrives and you need some powder skis for a deep mission. Hit PortlandSkiCo.com. And also shout outs to Hood Mitts and the Uncle Andy Band. And to everyone out there that's listening and supporting the show, thank you very much. Over and out from the Hood Report.
Another Hood certified classic.
Yeah.